Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Ravi and welcome back to another Adobe After Effects tutorial. So in this video we'll be learning to make this rotating text animation in a very simple way. To start off, I'll first create a new composition. I'll name this rotating animation. 1920 by 1080 resolution is fine with a duration of 5 seconds and I'll hit OK. So now we'll first create a background. To do that, I'll click on layer and from new, I'll click solid. I'll name this background and a dark green color is fine and I'll hit OK. So now we'll first have to type some text. To do that, I'll click on this T button here so that we enable the type tool and I'll type in some random text. Rotating text effect. Alright, I'll select the entire text. I'll increase the font size just like this and I'll change this from Arial bold to Arial black. Alright, so now we'll be animating this text layer. I'll expand this text layer and you have an option called animate. So I'll add a property called rotation and I'll also add another property called scale. So now in the animator one, you can see that we have two options for scale and rotation. I'll click on this timer button here for scale as well as rotation. I'll change the scale value to 0. You can notice that we have keyframe created at the first frame 0 and I'll also change the rotation value to 90. Alright, now I'll move around 15 frames forward and I'll change the scale value back to 100 and I'll set the rotation to 0. So now if I start playing the video, you can see that this is how the text pops in. Alright, now I'll move 1 second forward and click on this diamond button here for scale and rotation so that a keyframe is created at this point, and I'll move around 10 frames forward and set the scale and rotation value back to 0 and 90. So now if I start playing this, you can see that this is how the text pops in and pops out just like the way you see on the screen right now. And the next thing is I'll select all these keyframes, I'll right click and from keyframe assistant I'll click easy ease and now I'll click on this graph editor and make sure you right click and ensure that the edit speed graph is checked so that you can see waveform something like this, and click each one of the points here and bring it closer just like the way you see on the screen right now. Bring them closer so that you can have waveforms something like this. Alright, this is fine. And now if I start playing the video, this is how the animation is gonna look like. Perfect. So now I'll duplicate this layer 3 times. I'll go to edit and click on duplicate, or I'll hit Ctrl D on my keyboard so that they are duplicated 3 times. So now I'll move each one of the text layer towards the right for like 3 frames. I'll move 3 frames forward, move this like this, 3 more frames forward, I'll move like this, and 3 more frames just like this. So you have 3 frame gap between each one of the layer. I'll make sure that the layer that is on the top is set to white. The second layer, I'll double click on this and select it and I'll change the color to blue. Alright, and I'll change the third layer color to red. Alright, and the last one to green. This can be any color, I'm just setting it randomly. And now if I start playing this, you can see that this is how the animation is going to look like. You can also enhance this effect by clicking on motion blur for each one of the clips. If you don't find this motion blur button, right click here from columns, ensure that the modes is checked, and I also enabled the motion blur for the composition. So this is how you make a rotating text effect inside Adobe After Effects. I hope you found this video helpful, and if that's the case, give us a thumbs up. And if you'd like to talk with me regarding visual effects and video editing, you can always reach out to me on Instagram. See you guys next time with another tutorial.